What's going on? We back. Hood Stories, part 5. Second one today, man. Gonna do a couple tomorrow too, man. Got a request, and it's probably gonna be one of the better ones, man, for tomorrow, and I'll get it in tomorrow. But talk about Alpo Martinez, famously on Paid in Full, known as Rico, as well. And just to touch on the other one we did about White Boy Rick, real small one, and also got some other videos coming real soon. We did about White Boy Rick yesterday. Earlier today. I seen the previews for his movie. So, you know, if you didn't see that last Hood Story, check it out. I got a Hood Story playlist. I add both of them to it when I'm done chopping this one up. And, you know, why was Alpo, a.k.a. Rico, known as a federal rat, a federal snitch, a snitch in general? And, you know, it really has nothing to do with Paid in Full, the way they tied it up. We did the small, you know, we do small, you know, little hood stories, not large variety as far as length and time. But we talked about the real Paid in Full story and how it actually ended and how the movie portrayed a false image of the movie, okay? And AZ, you know, in the movie, name was Ace Boogie. You know, you could go watch interviews, Vlad TV, all across the internet, how he was trying to say that, you know, it wasn't, you know, they played it in the movie. But what happened was, in the movie, you know, eventually Alpo went down to D.C. or whatever. He did go down to D.C. And basically after Rayful Edmonds kind of, you know, got indicted, and we'll be doing one on him tomorrow. That's the special one I'm going to do. After he got indicted, okay, he was one of the most smartest drug lords out there, you know. Then, you know, Rico came to D.C. and hooked up with a few D.C. bros, and they was putting in work down there, you know what I'm saying? He had, like, some millions stashed away. His girl he was messing with, she was from D.C., so he would go take trips to D.C., and he was saying, D.C., where it's at. And we know today, and if you watch The Wire, or if you just know the area of the DMV in D.C., Baltimore, they can't stand for New York niggas to come down there and try to take over. But that's not the stance that Alpo took when he went to D.C. It was love. He would be cashing out on brothers. He'd be you know, buying guys stuff, buying a bar, just, you know, just stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, to garnish their friendship, you know what I'm saying, to kind of form that friendship and form that bond. And like I said, the girl that he was with, she was from D.C., and in the Paid in Full movie, he'd be like, yeah, man, we need to go to D.C. where it's at, because D.C. is where it's at for him, because he's seen the potential with D.C. You know, you see a guy in Rayful Edmonds, who was running the city, who was worth $400 to $500 million just slanging birds. Yeah, you see his money, you see the potential. You know, in New York, it's a whole bunch of competition. And while they was on their rise with, you know, in Paid in Full, AZ, Alpo, and Mitch, which was rich in the movie, okay, you know, they wasn't the richest dudes in New York. You know, you heard people, you say, you know, it was way more richer dudes in New York than them, but they was just the most flyest dudes doing it, woo. So instead of, you know, going to New York and competing with the other boroughs in New York, he seen the potential in D.C. You know, he actually rubbed shoulders with Rayful Edmonds down in D.C. He said he actually met him. You know what I'm saying? So he seen the potential, and eventually he went down there and got, you know, put some work in with some people and got a crew and got one of the most notorious, I just call him muscle men, in Wayman. And what happened was, you know, Alpo actually got, you know, I think he got linked to a body, and they brought him in, and then they linked him to a whole bunch of other stuff that he had did. You know, he was dropping bodies left and right. You know, he killed Mitch, you know, Rich in the movie. Mitch in the movie, Rich in real life, because he was cheating him on birds. That's what happened. He actually did kill him. You know, he admitted to AZ that he did kill him. And like I said, you got to watch the other Hood Story. We did explain it. Or you can find a documentary on YouTube. He actually killed him over because he was lying to him about the price of the work. So, you know, he eventually, I'm not saying he didn't get caught for that, but eventually, you know, a lot of his past caught up with him. A lot of work he's putting in D.C., and when you putting in work, you doing what he was doing. He was a manimal, man. He was, you know, dropping people left and right, and that body trail caught up with him. You know, it caught up with him, and he got picked up at the same time. The dude Wayman got picked up. You know, But Wayman got picked up for a petty traffic stop, all right? Or something like that. Was something real petty. So, you know, when they brought Alpo in, you know, obviously they want to know more. Who did what? Who did the murders? So he had a decision to make, you know. They was trying to kill him and give him the chair or whatever it was, you know. And he had a decision to make. He know Wayman was, I don't know if he knew Wayman was locked up. I think he did. And, you know, he said he made the effort to save his life and tell on them. He said, I didn't grow up with them. I'm not from D.C. And I think he figured that if he was in the same position and them D.C. boys had an opportunity to say they bacon and get out one day and don't get life for the chair, they would have snitched on him. So he said he was just smart enough to take the opportunity to get the upper hand on them and tell on them. So he told on them, and he admitted to a whole bunch of murders, told on the murders they did. And eventually, you know, Wayman knew it was a problem when they kept him for a petty traffic stop because they had nothing else on him. So eventually he ratted out the D.C. guys, you know, and saved his own bacon. You know, that's basically how it happened. And he actually got out like a year or two ago. So he's out in the witness protection program. And this was back in, he got caught in the mid-90s, early 90s, 94, 93, 95, somewhere in there. So paid in full make it seem like soon as, you know, Ace got killed, or AZ got shot, I mean, and he got out the game, it ended. No, he went on about 6-7 years after that. You know, he continued to carry on. But that's why they call him a rat. He went down to D.C., and he didn't take his on the chops like a man, and they called him a rat. You know, that's how I roll, man. That's how I roll. Quick, short hood stories. Don't forget, we're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Go ahead and follow us on there as well. If you want to make a donation, go ahead and hit the PayPal link as well. We don't monetize these videos, and YouTube won't. So appreciate it if you do. Y'all know what it is. We gone.